FM and 95.3 HD4. News Talk Nooga Radio. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Nooga Radio, 92.7 Sports, now.
Well, another week is upon us here. Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4. Good evening to you. Hope you had a great weekend wherever you may have been doing. And the NASCAR season getting back into reality. NFL's over with. We still got hockey and basketball going on, but racing is back in the form of NASCAR with the Advanced Auto Parts Clash that went on. The Clash went on over the weekend. There's Can-Am dual qualifying races that will get underway on Thursday. The pit stall selections for the duels took place with Dual 1 pole sitter Alex Bowman in the 88 car that was formerly driven by Dale Earnhardt Jr. getting pit stall number 4. Now it'll be the first pit stall with the first 3 that will be closed. Dual 1 outside pole sitter Jimmy Johnson taking pit stall number 6. Number 24, William Byron starting 3rd in Dual 1 took the 8th pit stall. So it seemed like from pit stall 4 and all the even numbers is how Dual 1's positions will take place. Dual 2 pole sitter Denny Hamlin chose pit stall 5, the first one available, and then everybody that was in 2nd, 3rd, and so forth took the odd number stalls. Alex Bowman in that 88 won the pole for the Daytona 500 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race at Daytona with a speed of 195.644 miles per hour for his first pole at Daytona and 2nd of his career. Hamlin will start the Daytona 500 2nd. And qualifying for the Daytona 500 only sets the front row for the race. Speeds will be used to set the lineup for Thursday's Can-Am dual races. Other drivers that made it to the 2nd and final round of qualifying include Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, William Byron, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, Kevin Harvick, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, and Paul Menard. So out of those, just so you know, if you haven't stayed up on how things are going in NASCAR, you know, we had Dale Earnhardt Jr. that retired. Jeff Gordon retired the year before, or supposedly the year before. He did race a few races, filling in for the injured Dale Earnhardt Jr. But with Earnhardt out of it, there's Alex Bowman in the 88 car. William Byron is in the 24 car that Gordon drove for years. Eric Jones is in the number 20 car that Matt Kenseth had been driving. And before that, we had Tony Stewart that drove the 20 car. Now, Daniel Suarez, he's been in that ride for a couple of years. Well, this will be his 2nd year, I guess. It seems like a couple of years. He had taken the place of, now I don't even remember his name. Edwards. Carl Edwards. And before that, there's been various other drivers in that 19 car. But Kevin Harvick, who's been in the 4 for a while, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 2nd year in the 17 car. Number 9, which was formerly the 20... let's see. Now, I forget exactly what the number was, but Chase Elliott had been in the 24 last year, switched over to the number 9 car that his dad had made famous. The last time that Bill Elliott drove, he was driving the Budweiser number 9 car. And Chase wanted to kind of honor homage to his father, who's still alive, still with us. But he switched from the 24 over to the 9, so that's good. And that allowed William Byron to jump into that number 24 car. Joey Logano in the 22 car, who's been in it for a number of years, and Paul Menard, who had been in the 27. And this year he has went with the one of the oldest racing teams out there, driving the Ford Fusion for the Wood Brothers. And Menards will more than likely have their sponsorship all over that. Paul's father is the owner of Menards, sort of like Lowe's and Home Depot, home improvement service business that is based out of Indiana. And, Menards has sponsored Paul Menard, in his racing efforts through the years. So we'll have all the NASCAR racing action for you here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM with the Great American Race this Sunday with the running of the Daytona 500. Glad to have you along wherever you may be here in the Tennessee Valley and beyond. And we encourage you to call in at 423-800-8949, 423-800-8949 with Sports Talk with Sam Jordan. You can also catch us on Facebook Live as well as on YouTube. So if you'd like to leave us a message on Facebook Live, you may do so by going to the Nooga Radio Facebook page and posting your comment there. We encourage you to do that, or you can call in at 423-800-8949. All right, a lot of other things. Results from yesterday's Advanced Auto Parts Clash at Daytona. Brad Keselowski and the number 2 Miller Lite Ford going to victory lane in that race. It's sort of like an all-star race before the season gets underway. Just really seeing what they need to do to improve on things. And this was one of those races that gave them an opportunity to decide, well, do we need to tweak here, tweak there, or just leave it alone, or maybe go back to square one? But for most, it was a very good experience. Joey Logano in the number 22 Pennzoil Ford was able to come in second. Kurt Busch in the number 41 Monster Energy Haas Automation Ford came in third. Number 12, Ryan Blaney in the Menards Peak Ford finishing fourth. Ryan Blaney from Youngstown, Ohio. Him and his family are very, very nice people. Dave Blaney and his immediate family own Sharon Speedway, just outside of Sharon, Pennsylvania, and Youngstown, Ohio. That's how close they are. It's almost like Chattanooga to Fort O or to Rossville or Ringgold. It's that close. They're right on the line where they abut each other. And beautiful track, a dirt track that they own up there in Eastern Ohio and Western PA, right on the line, literally. Austin Dillon in the number 3 Dow Chevrolet coming in fifth. Number 11, Denny Hamlin in the FedEx Express Toyota came in 6th. Kyle Busch in the 18 M&M's Toyota came in 7th. Eric Jones in that Circle K Toyota coming in 8th. He's driving that number 20 car. Kevin Harvick in the Busch Beer Ford in 9th. Number 42, Kyle Larson in the DC Solar Chevrolet coming in 10th. Ryan Newman in the number 31 Bass Pro Shops Cabela Chevrolet in 11th. Jimmy Johnson in the Lowe's Chevrolet coming in 12th. Chase Elliott in that 9 car came in 13th in the Mountain Dew Chevrolet. Number 78, Martin Truex Jr. in the 5-Hour Energy Bass Pro Shops Toyota came in 14th. Number 95, Casey Kane in the Procore Chevrolet coming in 15th. And number 17, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the Fastenal Ford coming in 16th. And number 1, Jamie McMurray in the Cessna Chevrolet coming in 17th. Those are the official results from the 2018 Advanced Auto Parts Clash at Daytona. So I'm noticing here, other than drivers making changes in the car numbers and stuff, there's also a few sponsorship changes as well. So interesting to see here with Ryan Blaney in the Penske Ford with the Menards shifting their sponsorship there. And maybe that was more of an issue because maybe the Ford and the Autolube division they've got, Ford does, that are at a lot of Ford dealerships around the country and stuff. Maybe they wanted to have more emphasis on that 21 car that Paul Menard drives on a regular basis. So Menards may have put their sponsorship dollars with Penske because of that matter, and Wood Brothers have an alliance with Penske. So, it's just sometimes it does make sense. Now, Dow sponsoring Austin Dillon. Dow had been a part, if I'm not mistaken, with Jeff Gordon, and last year it would have been Chase Elliott in the 24 car. So they moved that over to the Austin Dillon ride in the number 3 that was made famous by Dale Earnhardt Sr. Circle K, a new sponsor to the Monster Energy Series. Circle K, of course, they're around in our area, sponsoring Eric Jones in the JGR ride. Busch Beer, they occasionally do sponsorships, not as much as what they used to in the past. DC Solar seems to be a new sponsorship for NASCAR, sponsoring Kyle Larson. Let's see, Bass Pro Shops with Ryan Newman and Cabela's. Typically, you would see that on the Martin Truex ride or the 77 that Eric Jones had last year. But this year, 31, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, is part of the Hendrick ride. Could be mistaken on that, but Ryan Newman is enjoying those sponsorships there. Procore, fairly new, and I think that's a Levine car. Casey Kane, who had been with now let me find it here, with the Hendrick racing team, now with the Levine racing team there with the 95, and that was a car that was driven by Michael McDowell, who went to another ride himself. Fastenal has been in it and out of it numerous years and stuff, and Cessna, fairly new to the NASCAR sponsorship game. And speaking of NASCAR with sponsorships, Miller Coors, which had been sponsoring as the official beer provider for NASCAR, is no longer. They have been gradually cutting back over the years, and they've been sponsoring as the official beer for a number of years, I believe 5 years. And they have told NASCAR no more. They've tried working out a deal up to the last moment needed, but Miller Coors has decided to pull away as that official beer sponsor. They are, however, still sponsoring one of the cars, but they're not going to be the official beer of NASCAR. And NASCAR is kind of racing, no pun intended, trying to find a new beer sponsor out there. There's not a whole lot that they can choose from. And one of the things that Miller Coors has stated is the reason why they are not renewing. There are so many micro and craft brewers that are out there. They have saturated the market quite a bit. And I know, we have various craft brewers, micro brewers, especially here in our area, in the Chattanooga area, Chattanooga Brewing Company, outstanding micro brewer. And they've got a lot of great products out there. So, I can see their point as far as Miller Coors goes, but you got to keep getting that name out there to try to develop more and more recognition and getting those products purchased by, the individual consumer out there. So, Yuengling could be a possibility. If Dick Yuengling up in Pottsville, Pennsylvania wants to, they're America's oldest brewer. If they really want to get their name out there on a national scale in a big way, that could be a possibility. Anheuser-Busch had previously had been the official brew of NASCAR prior to Miller Coors taking it over 5 years ago. Other than that, don't really see Anheuser-Busch, since they're now owned by foreigners, in stepping into that limelight. So, You always had the Budweiser duels for many, many, many years. And Coors, one of the things that they always had was the Coors pole winner that they always had the award for. And, prior to the Advanced Auto Parts Clash that took place here on Sunday down at Daytona, they didn't have anybody to take that award. So I'm sure NASCAR will find a way to find another sponsor that will take over some of those responsibilities in the NASCAR racing sponsorship field that there is. So it will be interesting to see, whether Sam Adams, Boston Brewing Company, wants to step forward. They're gradually getting their name out there across the country, and very reputable Heineken, another brand out there. But, it will be interesting to see what happens with some sponsorships, because sponsorships have starting to drop off. When you look at NASCAR, when you're reading the news that such and such is signed on with a particular team or a particular car to become, an 18 race sponsor, primary sponsor. There's 36 races in NASCAR. And, usually that's where you see, like here with Monster Energy / Haas Automation as sharing sponsorship. Then you got Menards and Peak Ford. You got Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, 5 Hour Energy and Bass Pro Shops. I mean, there's a lot of different 50-50 deals as far as sponsorship goes, with sponsoring a car. And NASCAR is competing against these very same teams, every year. They're working on sponsorships constantly, signing people up or businesses up on a regular basis. Circle K, as I said, new to the Monster Energy series. Now, they've been involved in Xfinity through the years, last several years, and they've gradually now made that jump up to the big series in the Monster Energy Cup. So it'll be interesting to see how NASCAR overall will be able to overcome the lack of sponsorship dollars. I mean, this is what has helped grow NASCAR, because of the sponsorship dollars that are involved. And with sports and sponsorships, they go hand in hand together, even on a local level with like Chattanooga Football Club, Chattanooga Eagles with their semi-pro football team that we have here. It's a championship caliber team. They won their Western Division title last year, and they're back into action here beginning February 24th, which we will have here on Nooga Radio. So make sure you tune in for that. If you're a business out there, please call 423-497-2407 if you would like to be a sponsor of Chattanooga Eagles football here on Nooga Radio. So that, radio, television, NASCAR, and as such, always competing for those sponsorship dollars. Good evening. You're on Sports Talk with Sam Jordan. What's your question?
Well, thanks for not giving the number out. I had to search for it.
I gave it out several times.
Okay, I'm kidding.
We don't kid about that, caller. We don't kid about that.
They cannot get into this mode of being political. I mean, they have very conservative viewers and listeners and participants, and they were getting political. And I think that hurts them. They have to, just stay away from being politically correct. I want to know your thoughts on that, because it is a great sport. They took a hit during the Depression, during the Barack Obama Depression, but it is coming back. It's still very popular, but that could be one of the reasons. It's one of those things where, everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon of being politically correct. NASCAR, that will kill them if they do that. What do you think? I'll listen on the radio.
All right. Thanks, caller. And by the way, the phone number once again is 423-800-8949. 423-800-8949. That's the fifth time that I gave it out. But anyway, mixing politics and sports, I think the NFL may have learned a serious, hard lesson from it. Now, we'll probably see that more coming up. before the next NFL season, whether that made a difference or not. One thing I did notice, Fox Sports 1 was broadcasting the Advanced Auto Parts Clash yesterday. The ratings actually were up compared to last year. Now, here's a thought and a theory, maybe because there really wasn't much sports out there to offer to the regular television viewer. Yeah, you got the NBA, and NBA had it on prime time last night. There, and the Olympics is going on. So that's probably one thing. If you weren't into the Olympics, you were scrambling looking for something else to entertain you. We'll talk more about it after the break coming up. Remember, 423-800-8949. 423-800-8949. Sports Talk with Sam Jordan continues after the break.
Chattanooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
Aggravated rape reported in Chattanooga. Chattanooga cops talked with witnesses who identified the female victim, who was unconscious by the time the police got there. She was rushed to the hospital. She's expected to recover. 2 suspects have been arrested. They've been questioned by the Special Victims Unit, and they were held in the Hamilton County Jail. A man who crashed his car in East Ridge is wanted in Chattanooga for a shooting. East Ridge police say the suspect in that shooting crashed into a home on South Seminole, but it's in the East Ridge police jurisdiction. East Ridge police have agreed to work with the Chattanooga police in this case. The homeowner who helped the man who crashed said he was shocked to discover the man he assisted was wanted in a shooting case. Early Saturday morning, the Circle K on Battlefield Parkway in Ringgold was robbed at gunpoint. Ringgold police say that the suspect is a black man, 5'9", 140 pounds, wearing a hoodie. They're hoping you can help track him down. Russell Stroud, Chattanooga Radio News Talk 92.7 now.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM.
Mom's stew pot, her exercise bike, her bookcase of cheap novels, Mom's estate. Oh, just call Dan. He'll sort, organize, clear out, tag, sell, and in a few days, hand you a nice check. 314-4034. 314-4034.
Oh, man, rush. I've got to get stuff for the party. Where can I go that's going to give me a wide selection of beer, wines, and spirits? Oh, I've got it. I'll go to Harry's Wine and Spirits, Signal Mountain. Maybe East Brainerd Wine and Spirits in East Brainerd. I could go to Riley's Wines and Spirits in Hickson. Wow, look at the huge selection in here. Look at these great prices. Amazing. Oh, yeah, I'm going to find something for my lady, too. I'm going to make this party a success.
Make your party a success when you stop in at Harry's Wine and Spirits in Signal Mountain, East Brainerd Wine and Spirits in East Brainerd, and Riley's Wine and Spirits in Hickson. An automated nuclear missile defense system has suddenly entered into launch mode, and you are the only one who can stop it. Escape Experience Chattanooga. Your team has just been infected with a deadly virus. Your only hope? There, in an abandoned farmhouse. Escape Experience Chattanooga. Handcuffed in a maximum security prison, you have an hour to flee. Escape Experience Chattanooga. These escape scenarios and more at Chattanooga's best escape room, game, and team building platform. Call now. Slots are limited. Register online at escapeexperience.com/Chattanooga. Escape Experience Chattanooga.
$25 goes by quickly these days, and 25 cents still just a quarter. 25 is the years of experience Schultz & Associates puts behind filing your tax return quickly, correctly, and electronically. Schultz & Associates.
Hi, I'm Chip Chapman. The IRS set some special dates this year regarding filing your taxes. It all may make filing a little more confusing this year. The professionals at Schultz & Associates can answer your questions about multiple incomes, income from rental property, special circumstances involving your children or family. Call Schultz & Associates 899-1130 and arrange an appointment to work out the details of your tax return. Schultz & Associates, 6310 Bonnie Oaks Drive.
Baseball sluggers often wear the number 25, or 25 is a full MLB roster. Just happens 25 is also the years of experience Schultz & Associates puts behind filing your tax return quickly, correctly, and electronically. Schultz & Associates, 899-1130.
Traffic, news, and information. Nooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
Expect fair to partly cloudy skies to continue through your nighttime. Cold overnight, lows mid and upper 20s. Now for your Wednesday, look for some sunshine with a breeze out of the north, though. Quite cold, highs up around 40 with more mainly dry and cold weather expected through Friday. Celebrate the new year with Dixieland Fireworks, locally owned with the largest selection around. A Black Hat dealer with the lowest prices in Dixie. Dixieland Fireworks, just off I-75 on Ringgold Road, East Ridge. And I'm Sworn Team 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Hoare.
Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM knows your opinion is important. So call 800-8949. Agree or disagree? Call 423-800-8949. 800-8949. Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM and 95.3 HD4. News Talk Nooga Radio. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Nooga Radio, 92.7 Sports. Now.
Hey, we're back. Yes, we came back after that caller there. Talking about sponsorships. I wanted to reiterate for the 7th time that you can call in at 423-800-8949. 423-800-8949. Even though that caller may only catch moments of our show, we do announce the phone number quite often, much to his chagrin. All right. All right. You're encouraged to call, or you can give us a question or a comment on Facebook Live. And we appreciate all the different viewers that are out there tuning in, whether it's on Facebook Live or on YouTube. We've been talking about NASCAR and about sponsorships. And we've got a lot of other things to talk about as well in the show besides NASCAR, even on the local sports scene. But, the recession back in 2008, the start of the Obama presidency, I don't think a lot of it was Obama's fault, because things leading up to it with, GWB, kind of attributed to it. And I'm not trying to give a political slant or a view, but everything just came to a head in 2008, in 2009, with the recession that happened. So, sports sponsorships, have been unique and seeing a decline through the last several years. And that's why I was saying, like with teams like Chattanooga Football Club or the Chattanooga Eagles, or even with the basic Little League teams that are always looking for sponsorships to pay for the particular teams to allow the opportunity for our youngsters in our area to be able to play Little League baseball. Sponsorships are a big part of the economy with sports or with other activities that we get to enjoy. Even with some of the events that go on in downtown Chattanooga, have presenting sponsors, like with the symphony, or, with things that go on at the Tivoli Theater downtown, or even at the Tennessee Aquarium, or other events, Riverbend, Ironman competition. They all have to have sponsorships in order to make it work. Whether it's a 5K or a 10K or it's a marathon, you have sponsors that are a part of it. Radio stations, TV stations, newspapers, even websites have sponsors on it so that they can promote things that they're doing with their particular organization. It's just a fact that we, enjoy. Part of my job here at Nooga Radio 92.7 is doing sales. I'm, along with several others we have here at the station, are constantly out there trying to obtain sponsorships for our various programming, whether it be Chattanooga Morning News, the David Tulis Show, Bloomberg Radio, our local news, our extensive local news coverage that we have with Russ and Val, Sean Hannity, my show, Keon's show, you name it. We have a lot of opportunities out there. Set the Hook with Pat Rose. You got the Money Pit, Gun Owners of America, that program that we have on the weekends. Just various things, and we're always looking for sponsors to be a part of those programs. sponsors typically, come to the radio station because they like what that show is trying to do or the message that it sends. So that way, if there's a sponsor out there that would like to be a part of Sports Talk with Sam Jordan or the Clutch with Keon Rose, it's a sports-oriented type of business, whether it's a restaurant or tavern, a sports bar, a fitness center, you name it. Those are type of businesses that would be on my show or Keon's show. Set the Hook with Pat Rose, you would be going after marinas, you would be going after outdoor places that, people, fishing and tackle places, you name it. Those are the type of business that typically would go for that. With NASCAR, you've got auto body shops, you got insurance agencies, you've got beverage distributors, bars, you name it. That would be typical for NASCAR. So there's a lot of various things that sponsorships will do. In return, that particular sponsor is looking for customers to come in and purchase their products or their wares that they offer for being a part of that, because they're taking that sponsorship and trying to attract more customers from our listeners that we have here on the radio. So, it's no different than the Chattanoogan.com or the Chattanooga Times Free Press or channels 3, 9, or 12 or any of the other radio or TV stations that are in our market, or any other radio station for that matter as well. So just saying, sponsorships can make or break an overall operation. So NASCAR has been feeling the pinch. NFL has definitely felt a pinch from it. Major League Baseball and the NBA and the NHL, maybe not as much. MLS, Major League Soccer, that is, is still a growing brand. They haven't gotten to the level of the NBA or NHL or any of the other major league sports that are out there. But soccer keeps making strenuous leaps in trying to get out there. And, soccer is big, especially here in the Chattanooga area with the Chattanooga Football Club. And with the attendance that we were able to see here the other weekend with the exhibition game with the FC Club of Dallas, who is a part of Major League Soccer, and Chattanooga Football Club, which is an amateur team, tied the pros 1-1, saying a lot for the talent. We've got a lot of great things to come with Chattanooga Football Club. Just like going on right now, the Olympics over in South Korea, Pyeongchang, NBC television that has got the rights to the Olympics for the however many days that it is. But, NBC is looking to capitalize on having a great Olympics by having a lot of sponsors because of all the coverage that they are providing with all the different events. Super Bowl 52. It's more than just Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Michelle Tafoya that was bringing that broadcast. This is where the television network makes a lot of its money from getting the rights to these particular sporting events and everything. So there is a lot of involvement with sponsorships. And, if you have a business out there, and I'm switching hats here for a moment, and, with the programming, the great programming that we have here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM, we're not an expensive expense. You got to make money, or you got to spend money to make money. So in order to attract the listeners that we have, and we have a lot, we know that. We hear it from people out on the streets. Yeah, we've been on FM since April of last year, but I tell you what, a lot of people are starting to know about us. They've came across us because of the upgrade that we made here just about 2 months ago, and has made a huge difference. Every time you're in your car and you hit Seek, you go past Sunny 92.3, you stop right here on us at 92.7 FM. So, that is where we have made a lot of inroads. People have stopped at various times and they've caught our programming And we have had a lot of people tell us of how well they like, and they didn't know that we existed. This is where businesses and sponsorships come together. You know, we're very affordable and we get you results, hands down. And it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg either. All right. Enough of the soapbox dialogue. We still got a little over 10 minutes and a lot to talk about. All right, let's switch gears and let's talk a little mock sports. All right. You know, we are not endorsed by the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on there that does make exciting news. And the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga head coach Gavin McKinney announced the addition of 6 to the 2018 women's soccer roster that happened on National Signing Day. The Mocs received national letters of intent from Adrian Darnell, Ashton Shields, Shelby Hash, and Peyton Moore, all from Tennessee. Twin sisters Samantha and Maggie Shaw coming from South Carolina to become Mocs with the women's soccer team. So congratulations to those young ladies. And hopefully we'll be able to talk a little bit more about the Mocs soccer program, the women's team, you know, over the next couple of days, and we'll get you updated on who those individuals are. All right. And also the Mocs take 2 matches at home with the men's tennis team scoring 2 home wins in non-conference action that happened on Saturday. The Mocs defeated North Alabama, who were 6-1, and Tennessee Wesleyan, now 5-2, at Manker-Patton today. UTC took both double points, led by strong play from number 1 sophomore Nicholas Gertis and Simon Bustamante. They won both of their double matches on Saturday. Gertis also had 2 single wins at number 1 for the Mocs. Freshman Luke Plaisted and Cooper Long also won twice in singles action. UTC improved to 4-5 overall with the wins. Mocs are back in action next weekend at Tennessee Tech. Next home match is February 23rd against the Citadel at 2:30 p.m. So congratulations to the Mocs tennis team and their victory, or victories, I should say, that occurred over the weekend at Manker-Patton. All right, in basketball action, the women's team over at Covenant, they pushed their win streak to 7 with 3 players, including Jessica Bell, leading in double figures scoring with her 18 points as the Scots won their 7th straight time with a 62-52 victory at Agnes Scott on Saturday in the regular season finale. The win stretched the winning streak to 7 for Covenant, who's now 13-11 overall, 8-6 in the USA South. Clinches the number 5 seed from the West in next week's USA South tournament. Covenant will travel to number 4 West seed Huntingdon on Wednesday for a first-round matchup. Bell had 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 steals in a win, while Kaylee Hallmark had 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. Becca Walters scored 11 of her 13 points in the first half. Agnes Scott is now 3-22 overall, 2-12 in the USA South. They hung around for the final 2 periods, but Covenant's lead hovered around double digits the rest of the way. Scott's led by as many as 16, 59-43 after a Bell layup with just under 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Covenant will travel to Montgomery, Alabama on Wednesday to face Huntingdon in the first round of the USA South tournament. Start time is set for 8 o'clock in that matchup. And the men's team defeated Ferrum for their 7th straight win. Senior night at Lookout Mountain, senior Berto Dryden scored 21 points, and the Covenant men's basketball team on Saturday night extended its winning streak with a 76-64 victory over Ferrum in USA South action. Before the game, Dryden and fellow senior Paschal Toguerese, and I probably butchered that name, but they were honored for their careers at Covenant. The duo, both transfers, have been integral parts of the program's success over the last 3 seasons, winning 47 games, a USA South tournament title, and making the program's first NCAA tournament. Dryden's 21 points moves him just 8 points shy of 1,000 for his entire collegiate career. Guard was 8 of 14 from the floor with 5 3-pointers to go along with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. And the win pushed Covenant's win streak to 7. The Scots are 15-8, 10-5 in USA South action. They moved into second place in the USA Southwest division. After Piedmont fell earlier in the day, Covenant, which has already clinched a berth to the USA South tournament, is vying for a top 2 seed in the West in order to host a quarterfinal round game in the tournament. All right, Covenant will play its final regular season home game tomorrow against Brevard. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. All right. We want to mention to you tomorrow night, we are going to be live on location from Nashville, Tennessee with Sports Talk Live. Keon Rose is going to be in studio, and he'll do the bulk of the programming chores here in studio here in Chattanooga for us. But we will be calling in from Bridgestone Arena as the Preds will be in action tomorrow night, and we will be there for that exciting action from Bridgestone Arena. Sam Jordan III, who normally calls in with Preds Pulse, and myself will be checking in and talking a little bit about hockey from the beautiful Bridgestone Arena there in downtown Nashville tomorrow night, and kind of get you a little bit of updates on some other things going on as well. The drop of the puck is right around 7 o'clock, but we will be calling in and we'll be talking for a little bit, and then Keon will take it the rest of the way in that broadcast tomorrow night. So myself and Sam Jordan III will be on location live tomorrow night in Nashville, Bridgestone Arena, with our abbreviated version of Sports Talk Live with Sam Jordan. All right. You have an opportunity to call in at 423-800-8949. 423-800-8949 is the phone number for you to call in. Or if you'd like to chat with us on Facebook Live, you can do so by giving us your questions. We will be more than glad to take your calls as well. All right. Let's see. I've got more stuff here to talk about. Cleveland State announced today that they have a new coach in Miles Mosley. Now, if you've heard that name before, for obvious reason, he's taking over or took over the team's helm just this past month. He's a native of Cleveland, Tennessee, and played golf at Cleveland State before becoming a golf professional. This will be his first year as the head coach for Cleveland State's men's and women's golf team. His background includes golf instructor, golf professional, playing professional, and web.com caddy. One of his stops as a golf professional was in Sea Island, Georgia, at the highly esteemed Ocean Forest Golf Club. While there, Mosley was able to work with and observe some of the best teaching professionals in the world at the Sea Island Golf Performance Center. Additionally, while at Ocean Forest, he had the privilege of hosting the Walker Cup. And lives in Cleveland with his wife, Dr. Elizabeth Mosley, a psychology professor at Cleveland State. So congratulations to Miles Mosley, the new golf coach at Cleveland State. Cleveland State also, the Lady Cougars takes a narrow loss to Chat State in basketball action by a score of 51-49. Leading the Lady Cougars was Abby Hubert, who posted 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals. Ebony Kelly recording 10 points and 5 steals, while Julia Gaither dished out 6 assists. It was a close game throughout, according to reports. And the Lady Cougars took the loss in this one by a tight score, once again, of 51-49, with Chat State winning that contest. The men also lost a close one against Chattanooga State by a score of 70-68. So it was a tough loss for Cleveland State, both on the men's and women's side in college basketball action. Cougars are 7-2 at home, 3-7 on the one. So that makes them 11-10 overall, 7-7 in the conference. They'll have a chance to rebound from that loss as they'll take on Walters State on the road on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. So good luck to the Cleveland State Cougars. Well, Sunday was a great day for Chattanooga wrestling for a number of reasons. They took care of business with Gardner-Webb by a 37-5 finals. They closed out their home season at McClellan Gym. And secondly, the Mocs were able to honor 8 seniors in their final home appearance. At the same time, erasing the bitter taste that had been in their mouth since last Sunday when they lost a heartbreaking 18-16 match to arch rival Appalachian State. But it also gave Coach Heath Esslinger his 100th career victory as the Mocs coach in 9 seasons at the helm. Bulldogs of Gardner-Webb are now 1-10 overall and 1-4 in conference action. And as I mentioned throughout the day on our sports updates, Baylor School won the combined and boys TISCA state swimming and diving championships up in Knoxville over the weekend. 13th year in a row that Baylor has captured the combined team title, while the boys have taken the title 5 times out of the last 6 years. Baylor girls finished 2nd overall behind a very good Harpeth Hall team. So congratulations to them. Hicks enrolls to a region mat title with 8 champions. Signal Mount, Cleveland, Baylor also winning regional wrestling titles on Saturday. And the UTC women's tennis team scored a 6-1 win over UT Martin at the Manker Patton Tennis Center on Sunday. Mocs are now 4-1 overall. Skyhearts fall to 0-5 on the year. And that's going to wrap things up for me. We'll talk to you live from Nashville tomorrow night. Thanks for joining in. The Clutch of Keon Rose is coming up next here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. CBS World and National News is next on the News Talk Station for the Tennessee Valley.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
3, 2, 1.